Hey y'all, welcome to Fixin' the Garden. Today we're going to be doing a few new things that we haven't done before. You know, the garden is asleep right now, and so we are having beautiful weather here in Georgia, zone 8B. It's in the mid 60s, so I wanted to get outside and do some of these projects that I've put off during the not so great days. So we're going to update these lanterns that we hang up on our pergola, where we typically hang our hanging baskets to kind of give us some structure while we wait for annuals to come back into season. We're also going to give you an update on our Christmas picks. If you haven't seen our video on the Christmas picks, be sure to click on the link here at the top and give it a look. We're also going to show you our plants that we picked up from Mr. Maple during the Black Friday extravaganza. Like I said, these are really gnarly from sitting outside over the past couple of years. We got these from IKEA. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some crud cutter, and we're going to clean it all really well. And we're going to take out these glass panes. I'm going to show y'all. It's super easy to get these taken out. And then we're going to just go ahead and spray paint it. We're going to use this low odor Rust-Oleum to kind of cover up the rust and give it a nice clean look. So as y'all can see, there's just these little pieces of metal holding in the glass panes. So this is super easy, just like if you have any of the picture frames around your house. You're just going to get a flathead screwdriver and just pry these open. I'm going to take out the glass, and as you can see, it is really gross in there. So we're going to give that a good clean up really quick. All right, inside our lanterns, we were using these outdoor battery operated lights. I got these at Amazon last year. Really gross, right? And I forgot to take the batteries out, and so it's all corroded on the inside. So these, unfortunately, aren't any good anymore. But that's what we give, and we'll probably put these actually outside, and I just won't light them because they didn't really put off a ton of light to begin with. They're more for aesthetics, so I'll probably stick them back out there and use them and just won't have them lit. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to give everything a really good clean, like I said, with the crud cutter. That's the reason why I have on some gloves, because, well, I don't like my hands the way it feels with all the cleaner on it. So we're going to get those cleaned up. Alright, so this is taking a little bit longer than I expected, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off so that y'all can just see the finished product. You get the gist of it. Alright, so we finally got them all cleaned up. It took a little bit longer than I thought, and while we let those dry, because I don't want any moisture to be on them, we're going to go ahead and give you a look at the other projects we have going on around our yard. Alright y'all, so the picks are doing great. The only complaint that I have is the batteries are dead already. So we've had these about 4 weeks, using every evening on the timer, and we're going to replace the batteries, mainly because even though we're only a few days away from Christmas, I do think I'm going to leave these in a little bit longer because I think they just look great. Alright, so I'm not sure why the battery didn't last any longer than it did. I think it has something to do with probably the cold weather. We don't have anything really battery operated out here that stays out for very long. So if y'all know the answer to that, let us know. It's definitely not because water got in there.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that's probably overkill.
Alright, so this is the Japanese maple that we got from MrMaple.com. It is called Hot Sauce. It's part of their Heat Seeker series that's supposed to be able to handle a lot of the heat and humidity and the full sun that the south offers. And so it can be for zones 6 to 9, and it's going to mature hopefully at the height of 10 to 12 feet in 10 years. It's a smaller Japanese maple, and as you see, there's not anything to really show y'all right here. We're not sure exactly where we're putting it at, but we are doing an addition to our beds most likely, and so it's going to go there. In the meanwhile, we're going to keep it in its pot, and we'll probably upsize it just a little bit at the beginning of next year. We'll also probably take off this limb here. It is rubbing in that one, so unless we can get some definition or get it to grow kind of away from the trunk, we'll probably have to take off this limb as well, which I hate, but it's okay, and others will hopefully be forming next year. So again, this is hot sauce from Mr. Maple. All right, the other thing we picked up from Mr. Maple on its Black Friday extravaganza is actually not a Japanese maple. And y'all know that we've ordered 3 or 4 things from them over the past year. And I have to say, this one didn't come in the best of condition. It came with scale on it. Y'all know I love tea olive, so this osmanthus fragrance is just like the other osmanthus fragrance that we have, but this is Yinbi Shuanghui, and I got it because it's variegated. So sorry it doesn't look the best. They assured me that if I were to treat it, that it's going to be fine though. Tea olives are evergreen, and that's another reason why I got this. It is zone 7 through 10, and it's going to get 8 to 10 feet in 10 years. Osmanthus fragrance has just what it says in its Latin name, fragrance. It has the most beautiful, light, perfumey fragrance that just kind of wafts through the air in every month that ends in R, supposedly. And so we are going to put this in probably along our fence line, separate from the other ones that we have, in order to give a little bit of evergreen interest where we have none. But we're going to wait and see how it does. It is kind of thin and it's very loose in its container, so we're probably going to fix that up a little bit. But I want to assure y'all, MrMaple.com had the best customer service. They were quick and efficient to rectify the situation to my happiness, and for that I'm very thankful and will continue to order from them. Y'all, we all have problems in our gardens, and growers are no different than we are. They have a lot of plants and a lot of pests that they're trying to combat and keep happy. Not the pest, but the plants. And sometimes things get overlooked, and we all know that to be the case if you've done any amount of gardening. So pick up this Yinbi Shuanghui, that is very hard to say, at MrMaple.com. Like I told y'all before, it's a warm day today, so we're going to let these guys get a little bit of sun. We're going to check their moisture. One thing you want to do in the winter time with your plants is not overwater, but make sure that they don't dry out. If you need to get a moisture meter, you can see that over on my tools video of have-to tools that you need for your garden. I highly recommend that, especially for any new gardeners. It just takes all the guesswork out. All right, so we're using this Rust-Oleum low odor indoor-outdoor durability. It's in matte blackout. Am I the only one that finds themselves working and your mouth opens up and you're just standing there with your mouth open? So sorry about that. That's why I wear gloves. I always make a mess. All right, I'm gonna let that dry for just a minute. And then I'm gonna switch it around so that y'all can see, and I can paint the other side. had some lunch waiting for these to dry, and we've come back out and they're all dry, and they are not perfect, but that's the great thing about this project. They're outside anyways. They're going to get dirt and dust and everything else on it, so I don't feel the need to make them perfect, but they are looking so much better than they did before. So now we're just going to put the glass back in. So we're going to turn this around. I'm not afraid to touch it anymore because it was just absolutely disgusting before. And we're going to put these back in. Thank you. Again, because they have these little clips, super easy just to take the glass out. If you have something like this and you don't have the easy to remove glass, you can always use painter's tape and just tape over the glass, but it was a lot simpler and quicker to be able to just take it out. So I'm very thankful for that. Be careful. As you can see though, this glass, it's not the best quality glass out there, and so it can easily crack. And I'm just able to use my finger. We used a flathead screwdriver, of course, to take these out, and we were trying not to break the glass while we were doing that. All right, this is what it looks like when it's all done. Clean and new looking. Now hand me a candle. And there we go. All right, and here we go. They're all hung up, and this is where we keep them at during the winter months until March, whenever the annuals come in, or early April, and then we'll be putting our hanging baskets here. And it just kind of adds some really nice structure out here. And of course, if we can get some lights working, then they'll add a little bit of glow too. I hope we all have a Merry Christmas from our house to yours, and we can't wait to spend more time with y'all in the new year. So we'll see y'all real soon.